50 Cent explained the real difference between him and Jay-Z's fame.
There ain't never been no 50 Cent Jay-Z conversation questioning whether there was a competition between the two. It's a huge difference in energy internationally. So let them be fooled in America and think there's a competition there. Because America can be purchased. We can buy it with marketing dollars. You see what I'm saying? But the rest of the world...
Different title. Who's your favorite Wu-Tang Clan member? What? You speak English? You don't know the rap group, the Wu-Tang Clan? With the RZA, the Jizza, Method Man, and all those guys? 50 cents. 50 cents, okay.
There's a huge difference in energy internationally in 50 Cent and Jay-Z. In fact, his largest selling record sold 430-something thousand copies. My largest selling records sold 5 million. Let them be fooled in America and think there's a competition there. Because America can be purchased. We can buy it with marketing dollars. You see what I'm saying? But the rest of the world, there's not enough marketing dollars to go around.
Who is the most overrated hip-hop star of all time?
Overrated?
Yeah.
I mean, Jay-Z, he would say he was overrated. Rather be overrated than underpaid.
Jay-Z in the image himself after a gay painter.
Okay.
Big homie want to look like a gay painter.
What are we talking about here?
We're talking about Basquiat. He wants to look like a gay painter.
Oh my God, I think I know where we're going with
So
this.
now look, what I'm saying to you is, look.
What is a sucker, man?
50 Cent fired back at Jay-Z after he said this about him.
I'm about $1. What the is 50 cents?
Jay goes, nobody's afraid of 50 Cent. His safe presentation, what the glasses represent? Intelligence, right? A nerd, maybe? Yeah, why would you have to make that clear when no one's ever asked me if I'm afraid of Jay-Z? His largest selling record sold 430-something thousand copies. My largest selling records, plural, 2 of them, sold 5 million.
People online were saying Jay-Z was finished, that he was about to be exposed, sentenced, and erased from hip-hop history. Clips went viral, thumbnails screamed, "It's over," and comments filled with one sentence over and over again, "This time, it's real." But here's the strange part. While the internet was celebrating his supposed downfall, nothing was actually happening in court. No arrest, no charges, no settlement. So how did one of the most powerful figures in music end up at the center of a scandal that felt massive, but quietly collapsed? To understand that, you have to look at what really happened and who helped fan the flames. It all started in late 2024, when a civil lawsuit surfaced accusing Jay-Z of involvement in a decades-old incident tied to a larger case already surrounding Sean Diddy Combs. The allegation was serious, emotional, and explosive. And because of a temporary legal window that allowed old civil claims to be filed, it immediately grabbed headlines. Blogs moved fast. Reaction channels moved faster. Jay-Z's name alone was enough to send the story into overdrive. And unlike past controversies where he stayed silent, this time his response was different. He didn't hide. He didn't issue a vague statement. He pushed back, hard. And that's when people started noticing cracks. As the case moved forward, details that had sounded convincing online began falling apart under scrutiny. Timelines didn't line up. Locations didn't match records. Events described in the lawsuit conflicted with publicly documented schedules. One of the biggest red flags involved a phone call that was supposedly made to a family member the night of the incident, a call that the person on the other end said never happened. Other claims placed celebrities in cities they weren't even in at the time. And then came something that completely shifted the narrative. The accuser publicly admitted that parts of the memory were unclear. That single detail didn't trend. It didn't go viral. But legally, it mattered. A lot. Because suddenly, the story wasn't about uncovering hidden truth anymore. It was about whether the accusation itself could survive basic examination. Then, almost as quietly as it began, the case disappeared. In early 2025, the lawsuit was voluntarily dismissed with prejudice. That phrase matters more than most people realize. It means the case is permanently closed. It cannot be refiled. There was no settlement, no payout, no admission of guilt. Yet online, many people never noticed. The viral clips stayed up, the thumbnails stayed aggressive, and the comment section still talked about sentencing, something that was never even on the table. Jay-Z, on the other hand, didn't celebrate. He was angry, because in his eyes, the damage had already been done. Instead of quietly moving on, Jay-Z made a decision most celebrities avoid. He sued back. He accused the accuser and the legal team involved of defamation, extortion, and intentionally damaging his reputation for financial gain. According to him, the lawsuit wasn't just weak, it was weaponized. And for the first time, the conversation flipped. Was this really about justice or about money and attention? As this legal back and forth played out, the media slowed down, but social media didn't. And that's where a familiar face entered the picture. While the case was collapsing in court, 50 Cent was posting. Not statements, not evidence, memes, AI-generated arrest videos, cryptic captions, jokes timed perfectly to peak outrage. To casual viewers, it looked like exposure. To anyone paying attention, it was something else entirely: timing. Because 50 Cent didn't introduce new facts, he didn't reveal documents, he didn't claim insider knowledge. What he did was amplify suspicion at the exact moment the internet was most emotional. And if you know the history between these two, that wasn't an accident. Jay-Z and 50 Cent's tension goes back more than 20 years. Before billion-dollar brands and corporate partnerships, there was competition for power, influence, and respect. 50 Cent has never hidden his belief that Jay-Z blocked opportunities behind the scenes, not musically, but business-wise. And in his world, business betrayal cuts deeper than rap beef. So when Jay-Z became the face of massive industry partnerships, including controlling one of the biggest stages in music, old resentment resurfaced. The controversy gave 50 Cent something valuable: leverage. Not legal leverage, narrative leverage. Then came the documentary rumors. When a Netflix project connected to broader industry scandals was announced, speculation exploded. People assumed Jay-Z was next, that his story was being saved for the final episode, that the silence meant something bigger was coming. But when the documentary actually dropped, Jay-Z wasn't part of it. No revelations, no secret footage, no shocking finale. And that's when many viewers realized something uncomfortable. They hadn't been reacting to facts, they'd been filling in gaps with imagination. Because while social media was convinced a collapse was imminent, Jay-Z's real life was telling a completely different story, one that didn't match the panic playing out online at all. Behind the scenes, there were no signs of damage control, no frantic scrambling, no visible fallout that usually follows a genuine career-ending scandal. His business partnerships remained intact. Major brands didn't pull away. No sudden pause announcements, no quiet distancing, no corporate statements hedging their bets. Even more telling, his relationship with the NFL continued without hesitation. In an industry that reacts instantly to risk, that silence spoke volumes. Corporations don't wait for Twitter verdicts, they wait for legal exposure. And what they saw didn't justify pulling the plug. Public appearances reinforced the same message. Jay-Z wasn't hiding, he wasn't over-explaining. He wasn't staging emotional interviews or walking viewers through his side of the story. Instead, everything stayed calm, controlled, and deliberate. Stability wasn't announced, it was displayed. There were no emergency PR tours, no apology circuits, no desperate image repair, just silence, legal filings, and time. Because from Jay-Z's perspective, the court system had already answered the only question that actually mattered. The lawsuit was gone, permanently, and no amount of online outrage could resurrect it. So how did this turn into a moment where millions of people genuinely believed he was about to lose everything? Simple. The internet doesn't wait for conclusions. It reacts to accusations. In the digital age, the accusation is the headline. The resolution is an afterthought, if it's covered at all. A dramatic claim spreads instantly. A quiet dismissal barely travels. Algorithms reward shock, not clarity. A dismissed lawsuit doesn't trend like a scandal. Legal nuance doesn't outperform outrage. And silence, especially strategic silence, gets mistaken for guilt. Once a narrative forms, it becomes self-sustaining. Reaction videos reference other reaction videos. Thumbnails exaggerate what previous thumbnails already distorted. And before long, people aren't responding to events anymore. They're responding to the version of the story that feels the most dramatic. In this case, the loudest voices weren't judges or lawyers. They weren't court documents or verified rulings. They were thumbnails, reaction clips, captions designed to keep people angry, suspicious, and watching just a little bit longer. Every click, every share, every comment pushed the story further before the facts ever got their turn. And that's the real takeaway here. Not whether Jay-Z is untouchable, not whether celebrities should or shouldn't be held accountable, but how easily perception can replace proof, how quickly speculation hardens into belief, and how dangerous it is when accusation becomes entertainment before truth ever has a chance to catch up. Because in moments like this, the story isn't just about one artist, it's about how fast we decide and how rarely we wait. A dismissed lawsuit doesn't trend like a scandal. Legal nuance doesn't outperform outrage. Silence, once a strategy for measured response, is too often misread as guilt. And in this case, the loudest voices weren't judges or lawyers. They were captions and clips optimized to provoke reaction, to keep eyes on the screen. Jay-Z's real life told a very different story. His business partnerships remained intact. Major brands didn't pull away. The NFL relationship continued without hesitation. Public appearances were carefully measured, sending a clear message of stability. There were no emergency PR tours, no desperate image repair campaigns, just controlled silence and calculated legal action. From his perspective, the court system had already answered the only question that mattered. But for millions watching online, it looked like a different story. The court's decisions rarely fit neatly into viral narratives. By the time the lawsuit was dismissed, the conversation had already shifted. Or had it? The internet doesn't wait for conclusions. It reacts. And once a narrative forms, corrections almost never travel as far as the original claim. What should have been a legal resolution became a backdrop for endless speculation. In the end, there was no sentencing, no criminal case, no collapse. Just a reminder that in the age of viral speculation, being accused can feel identical to being convicted, even when the facts say otherwise. And by the time the truth catches up, the internet has already moved on. So, what can we take from this? The lesson isn't about one person or one lawsuit. It's about the power of perception in the digital age, about how quickly rumors can feel like facts, about how important it is to pause, to look for evidence, and to recognize the difference between accusation and conclusion. It's a moment that reminds us all, the story we see first isn't always the story that's true. If you found this breakdown insightful, make sure to hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you don't miss our deep dives into the biggest stories shaping culture and music today. There's always more beneath the surface than meets the eye, and we'll be here to uncover it with you.